Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So, Atlético Madrid 2, Liverpool 3 in a absolutely crazy game in Madrid tonight at the Metropolitan. He knows it. I can't pronounce that. A crazy game. Uh, where should we start, guys? Well, so Klopp picked a midfield of Milner, Keita, and Henderson today. There was a lot of talk online just before kickoff that midfield is too weak. It's not good enough. And where's Fabinho? Fabinho went to Spain after the Brazil game, so he could be ready for this game, thinking that he's going to start. But no, he left him on the bench, and we had that midfield of Keita, Hendo, and Milner. Now, as we start the game, first 15, 20 minutes were excellent. I mean, we're 2-0 up within 20 minutes, guys, and we're thinking, I was sitting there thinking, wow, this is Atletico Madrid we're playing. You know, 2-0 up after 20 minutes, this is nuts. What is going on? But we have to talk about that midfield. That midfield was weak for us today, really weak, and they weren't tracking runners. They weren't doing a lot of anything, to be fair. I mean, Keita scores is a good goal, no doubt about that. Keita scores a very good volley, completely out of nowhere, no one expecting it. And then obviously Salah with the first goal, Salah with, takes on three players down that right hand side, cuts in, gets his shot away, deflected in. I think they thought it came off Milner at first. Looking back on it did look like it was Milner, but then apparently it did actually come off the centre back, was it? The centre back. So went down as a Salah goal, and it's 9 goals in 9 games. And I think he makes history with that as a Liverpool player. He's now got 10 goals in 9 games. The man is on fire at the moment. So we started really well, but then what we've got to remember with Atletico Madrid, it's the way they play. If Simeone let Madrid attack a bit more of the talent they have got ridiculous talent and squad depth off the bench. And if he would let them attack a bit more, you would see they could be the best of the best, I'm telling you. But they decided to start playing Atletico Madrid. I think we just caught them. We caught them early, we caught them quick, and we caught them cold. But as soon as they started playing, they were cutting through us like a cheap can of Asda baked beans. You know what I mean? It's just they were just cutting right through our midfield guys, and it was a joke. The midfield didn't track a single attacking player. They just got through the lines, through the gaps of the midfield, and our defence was so high. I know Klopp likes playing a high defence, and I don't actually mind high defence because he wants to play high risk, high reward football. And to do that, you have to play the way he set the team up, which is the fullbacks do not tuck in, they stay wide. You basically defend one-on-one, and you play that high risk football. You try and compose it and keep it all in their half. But the problem playing like that is when you haven't got the ball and you get turned over and the ball goes over the top with the quality Atletico Madrid do have, you're banging trouble. So Atletico Madrid, they're back in the game. They get a goal from Griezmann. I think it was a shot by Koke outside the box. Now, looking back, when the goal went in, I thought it was offside because I can't remember. Is it Thomas Lamar standing in an offside position? And I thought, well, that's got to be ruled off. But then they check it. Apparently, VAR checked it for quite some time, and Yeah, and they gave the goal. But looking back on it now, it's like that really should be offside. But then I suppose we had one like on the weekend, sort of similar, so can't really complain too much, can we? And I think right, it's 2-1, guys. Atletico Madrid, they're playing well. They've got back anyway. It's 2-1, and then Atletico Madrid go back to their default settings of sitting back and just letting the opposition have the ball. So we got the ball, and then we just get careless, utterly careless, and we sort of stop playing. And the turnover is too easy. It's too easy again. I know we're playing that high line because we're playing high risk, high reward football, and that's the way Klopp wants to play. Push you up high, fullbacks out wide, no tucking in. But the problem is when you play like that, with the midfield he picked tonight, you got no one coming back, chasing the attacking players, following runs. So when you play like that, you're going to leave your defence completely exposed. And that's what they were. The defence was completely exposed because the midfielders did not make any runs to help the defence out. No one's decided, right, we'll sit deep in case the ball gets lost and the turnover happens and we've got someone who can, cover that defence and mop up. And that's where you needed the Fabinho in this sort of game. You can't play Atletico Madrid in their ground without a defensive midfielder for me. And it was just a bit suicidal. And then they get back in the game again with another Griezmann shot where Keita just gets completely destroyed by João Felix, who I personally don't think's that great of a player. And he just got completely destroyed. And then Griezmann, I've got Virgil van Dijk is facing the wrong way. He's facing towards goal instead of towards their goal. If he's facing towards their goal, he can then run backwards, collect the ball, and he probably gets the blocking. But it was a great touch by Griezmann. You've got to give him his dues. Great touch, great finish, 2-2. And we're all over the shop. And you're thinking, what is going on? I mean, 2-0 up about 10 minutes ago. And at the moment, we keep throwing away leads. But I've got this thing. We're not great against 3 at the back. When we play teams that play 3 at the back or 2 up top, we have trouble when we play 2 up top. Look at Brentford. We was always in the lead against Brentford, and they always equalise. They played 2 up top. Atletico Madrid today was in the lead with Atletico Madrid. They played 2 up top, and it just for some reason we just completely switched off, and Atletico Madrid grew into the game. You've got to be fair to Atletico Madrid. They played that first half, coming back from that first 20 minutes when you're 2-0 down. I thought they'll go 3-2, 4-2 in front. They looked dangerous with every single attack. I don't know what was going on. But, half time, sorted things out a bit. I think, right, go to half time, get your heads up, down, think about it, get back out there and show a bit more cleverness. Hold the ball. Make Madrid run around for a little bit. 2-2 away to Atletico Madrid, even though we're 2-0 up, you'd see, still a decent point away to Atletico Madrid. And but the sloppiness in our midfield and defence was still there. Unfortunately, Virgil's not the Virgil of old at the moment, but he was out for almost a year with almost career-threatening injury. So you've got to expect him to maybe coast this season, and then the following season be back up to full strength. But yeah, this going to take some time from get to. So that's not Hammer Virgil. I mean, Matip's been excellent, but today he was a bit off it. Got a lot to thank Alisson for some of the saves. Alisson today coming out of his goal for 1-on-1, fantastic. Just showing the world that I'm still number one here. But then the sending off happens with Griezmann. Now I know a lot of people may have thought it was a bit harsh, but at the end of the day, that was a really high foot, and Firmino didn't even bend down. I mean, it's up head high. It was a proper foot in the head, and it was accidental. He didn't mean it, of course he didn't. But even with Griezmann didn't really argue it, and I think he knew it was a dangerous tackle. It's totally accidental, but it's a red card in today's game, and rightly sent off. And I think, right, down 10 men, they're still dangerous to Atletico Madrid, but just control the game. We still gave them chances, and it was so irritating. But then I got completely taken out in the box. Get a penalty, and like the King won't go miss, was he? There's no way in hell the King was going to miss. Slots it home, makes it 3-2, and we hold on, guys, for a great win in Atletico Madrid. In Madrid, and 9 points out of 9, 3 wins out of 3, undefeated in Europe, undefeated in the English League. We're going well. And performance aside, it weren't the greatest performance, but it's a results business, guys, and the result is all that matters. At the end of the day, the result is all that mattered. Yeah, performance weren't great. Midfield was terrible. Defence was terrible. Attack was top notch. So, goalkeeper was excellent. So let's do some ratings, guys. So Ali gets a 9 because none of the goals he could do anything about, but everything else, his contribution to the game was fantastic, and he gets a 9 for me. Trent was decent defensively today. He was okay going forward. It wasn't his best game. He didn't contribute too much. Give him a 6. Same with Robbo on the other side. I don't think Robbo. There was a few times Robbo switched off and he kept. I think it was Griezmann on side. Same with Matip when Griezmann was 1-on-1 with Ali when he had about 50 yards of running. Matip was still her defence was so high. Matip was in their half, so Griezmann could nowhere be offside. So things like that don't usually happen today, and they just didn't switch on. So I'm going to give all the whole back four 5 out of 10. Whole back four a 5 out of 10 today. The midfield was Henderson. Look, Henderson's our captain. We love him. I did a video. One of my first ever videos on my channel was about Henderson getting a new contract. And I said at the time, I can understand if the owners don't want to give him a new contract and then run out his 2 years, then give him a performance-based contract. And Hendo's performances of late have not been great. But I prefer Hendo as more of a sitting midfielder. Just not in the way Fabinho plays it, but just playing deeper. I don't want him attacking so much. I don't want him in around the box. I'd rather him a little bit deeper, trying to control the game there and being the captain there. Milner shouldn't have played today. I mean, I think that's 4 games in a row. That's ridiculous. And Keita, apart from his goal, I mean, defensively he was terrible. I just wonder if he pulled his groin taking that shot. You never know, Keita. He was crap after, wasn't he? So, yeah, 5 out of 10 for the midfield today. And then the forwards, Mane looked sharp. Didn't get a lot of help with Robbo going like he usually does. So I'm going to give him 6. But he did look sharp, I must say. He has got just didn't fall for him today. Salah gets a 7. It might seem crazy because he scored a great first goal and he got the penalty. He got the 2 goals. But his impact on the game, apart from the 2 goals, was huge. But so I'll give him a 7 and Bobby a 6. Bobby struggled today because the midfield was non-existent. What Bobby does, he drops deep in that diamond, drops deep, receives the ball from midfield, plays it in midfield and can turn. Because the midfield was non-existent today, he couldn't play that game. So we were poor, guys. We weren't great, but we beat the Spanish champions in their ground 3-2. Oh, I must say, sorry, the Jota foul. What people got to remember, refs last year, That probably would have been a penalty. This year, sorry guys, this year is this year they're looking for a bit more contact for fouls, and that cut. I mean, yeah, it's clumsy, but it's not enough for a foul for me. Not enough for a foul, but you're giving them a chance to throw themselves to the ground, and that's reckless and stupid, and no game management there. So that's dumb. Budgeta got away with it a bit, but as I say, guys, we've beaten 3-2, Spanish champions in their own ground, basically qualified for the next for the knockout rounds now, guys. So it's on the up and up. As I say, Klopp won't be happy with the performance, but he'll be happy with the result. And then away to Man United next. So that's the review of the game, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments, and always like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.